everyone, it's Slender Puppet Strings, and let's talk about something that has nothing to do with me at all and has no connection to my exact personality to a sharp T. So, yeah! Number 10. Slender Woman's name is Elizabeth Anastasia Matheson. Under certain records, she has a second middle name along the lines of Ermina. However, that was lost in time. Number 9. Slender Woman, despite the internet's prediction, she is Slenderman's daughter, completely by blood. Both of them have high expectations and views on each other, and seem to have a secret hidden between the two that no one knows. Okay, now I'm curious. Are they having an affair? Because that would... Never mind. Number 8. Slender Woman was the woman behind the man. When the 3 proxies were recruited, she arranged most of it, and still today, the proxies will even answer to her if nothing else. Number 7. Slender Woman has numerous powers, including telekinesis, telepathy, and the default teleportation. However, she has an extreme talent when it comes to hypnotizing. She can glamour crowds of people into killing one another, committing suicide, or watching a video vicariously and not thinking about it until you roll it back over in your mind. Number 6. Slender Woman has one single and cliche weakness that strips her very being apart. She is always wandering for love. During her internal wandering, she is taken after her uncle, sexual offendermen, whom are both seeking their one true soulmate. One legend holds a story that may be connected. In the midst of the Black Plague, a woman fell in love with a knight that ended up catching the Black Death. The woman whom loved him was absolutely torn apart, and also was a witch, and using her powers to cure him as best as she could. He unfortunately died in her arms. She flew into a spiritual rage, tearing things apart, burning villages, killing people. And during her cruelty, her flesh on her face peeled off. Yet after this knight woke up, as it turns out, he fell into a deep sleep rather than just dying. But by then, it was just too late. Number 5. Slender Woman's killing style ranges from her mood. If she is stellar, she will toy with the victim calmly until they bleed to death. If she is playful, she will rip out organ by organ in such a precise way that the victim will not die until days later. If she is angry, she will savagely tear limbs or even feast on the victim while they are still alive. So you see, PMS is worse than everyone thought. Number 4. Slender Woman has an impeccable talent for musical instruments to the point where they lure men, women, children, and animals. She uses this to her advantage. In some parts of the world, the folklore even represents the Pied Piper of Hamelin as a slender and skinny woman with no face. Number 3. In 1903, there was a famous sighting in the countryside of Germany where 344 people saw the same thing at the same time, and every single witness ended up dying in a strange way. They saw 2 creatures, both faceless and both at least 16 foot tall, standing idle on the edge of a forest. Most of them died of a freak accident with farming equipment or by a fire, and those who did not perish under those circumstances wandered into the same forest mindlessly and were never found again. Out of 344, only 2 died of old age. Number 2. Slender Woman, above all else, is described as with one trait like her father that makes her even more terrifying. She is a soul eater. Though that kind of power can be used for good, such as absolving, inner peace, and even for exorcisms. However, she mostly uses it for swallowing someone's life force by spiritually attacking them. Migraine much? Number 1. Number 1 is extremely special, that not even her father possesses, that ultimately makes her public enemy number 1. She can body jump, replacing a baby's soul during birth and slipping her own soul in its absence to pretend she is a child. This so-called child will study the human world undercover but is still in contact with the family. The parents are completely oblivious most of the time. You have been such a great audience and sleep tight, my puppets.